Hey guys, this is Sypder. This is a very short video in terms of explaining the basics of Python programming language, why it is a versatile tool for data science professionals. Now, I'm gonna just walk you through the basics of the commands that any data science professional would know uses it, but this is just the basics of some of the things that you will be doing in Python. Let's go into the details then. If you are looking at variables and data types in Python, it's very easy to understand. It's just like writing any mathematical equation. If you have a variable, let's say if you want to give that a name var, you can just write var and then assign a value. I'll just assign it as 10, and there you go. The variable var is created with the type int, and the value assigned is 10. By the way, I'm using Sypder as the IDE for Python. I seem to like this because it's very much similar to what I used to do in R. So this is definitely one of the best tools if you were R coder or professional who transitioned recently to Python. I think this will be much more helpful. Going back to some of these variable assignments, again, it's much simpler. You just have to again type in var and see what the value is. It'll pop up the value 10 into the output. You can just type in and it will give you the output. And if you want to do some calculation on this variable, you can do var plus, let's say 10. It will give you 20 as the value. If you want to subtract anything, you just do 10, give you 0. Var multiplication, the 2, 20, var and 2 asterisk sign. And if you want to look at the basically the square of the value, you just have to put 2 asterisk sign and it will give you the value 100. And if you want to look at the remainder on the variable with any kind of number, let's say if you want to do it say 3, it has to be 1, right? So 10 divided by 3, remainder is 1, and that's the output you get. Then you can do var divided by float. This is another nice thing about Python, is that you can actually write the type of the data type of any value and then put the value inside the bracket, and it will basically be that value. Even though you didn't write 2.0, it assumes that 2 is a floating number. And you divide, and obviously the output is going to be in floats because you're dividing integer by float, and the output is going to be a float variable. And the other thing that you can do with Python is play with different data types. Any string that you want to assign to any variable has to be in single quotes. So let's say if I write let's say name equal to htmagger, in quotes, the name is assigned a value htmagger, and that is in string type. If you want to assign any integer like what we did with var, that's how you do it. Just use an equal to sign. If you want to use float as your data type, just write it down in decimal format. So let's say if I do var float equal to 5.0, that var float is going to be having a data type of float. Booleans are trues and false. You can directly assign any value that is true and false to a variable by just typing it true or false. So if I say a is equal to true, it Again, it's very important for you to understand that Python is case sensitive. So it looks at the value true, and true is not defined in Python. The Boolean value is capital T R U E, and that's how it knows that yes, that is a Boolean type. So it's very important that you know that Python is case sensitive. Okay, any operation with string. So let's say if I write my string equal to, put it in quotes, single quotes, hello world, and then press enter. My string will have hello world as a string type. And then if you want to just do the operation with my string, you can just do crazy stuff, like if you do asterisk 2, it's kind of like repeating this my string twice, and it will give you the output hello world, hello world. And if you want to append anything on my string, you can just use plus sign and then hello world exclamation mark, and then boom, you have hello world exclamation mark. So that is kind of added into the string by just using a plus sign. And if you want to see if there is any letter present, let's say T is present in my string, you just have to write single quote T in my string, and it will find out whether it is there or not, and it will give you a Boolean output of true and false. So it says the T letter is not present in hello world. Let's play with some list. So if you want to assign any value to list, let's say if I do A is equal to is B is equal to nice. Again, these are all assigning string value. I'll create my list equal to my list AB. So for creating a list, remember you have to use a square bracket. That is how you define, oops, I typed something wrong here. I defined square bracket and then the values, and it will create my my list as a list type. Will have the 4 values. My list is nice, right? And then if you want to subset from my list, you just have to use again square bracket and just enter in the index of the value that you want to bring in. So here if I enter 1, it brings list. Remember in Python the list index starts with 0, so my is assigned a 0 index, list is assigned 1, A is assigned 2, and B is assigned 3. And then you can do a lot of crazy stuff. So you can write my list -3. You'll get any third from the last item from the list. And then if you want to do my list 1:3, you'll get the item at index 1 and 2. Okay, and if you want to do my list 1: you'll get an item after index 0. My list 3, you'll get item before index 3. So and then there's a lot more stuff you can do. You can also add in my list in together, and it will create a big list of my list added together, which is kind of nice. And then if you want to see, let's say what happens if you can do the same operation by doing my list into 2. You'll also create the same output. Some of the list methods that you want to know, again, these are some of the things that you would know if you are a programmer, but I'm just going to type in and tell you. Like let's say if you want to find out the index of an item, You just have to write in index of A from my list, and it will give you what is the index of that item. If you want to count how many of those items are present in the list, you just have to count, and it will give you the output. If you want to append any item into the list, let's say if I'm gonna append exclamation mark, I'll just write my list append, and if you look at my list, it will have the exclamation mark appended. Now remember, some of the variables keep on changing. The value of the variable keeps changing over here. So as soon as you assign anything, it will reflect in the values. And then if you want to remove anything, you just have to write in remove exclamation. It will remove that item. Okay. If you want to delete my list, that also is possible. There are different ways of doing it. Like even this one actually reaches the same output. And then you can reverse my list if you want. Again, this becomes nice is list. And then if you want to extend, extend is nothing but appending an item into the list. It's the same operation. Then my list pop -1 is again removing the item. -1 again, basically you just remove that item. And then my list insert 0, exclamation is basically going to insert that item into the list, and it basically tells you where you want to insert it. So index 0 is the location where you want to insert it. And then if you want to sort it, you can just write sort, and boom, it'll sort it out based on, again, alphabetical order. Okay, these are some of the things that you can carry out. Some of the methods that you can carry out in the list. Let's go back to my string. Let's see if you want to get the value. What was the value of my string? Hello world, right? So my string. Let's see what this gives. My string 3. It will give you 1 as not 1, it's L. So that means what is the letter in the index 3, index location 3 of my string value. And remember, again, the index starts from 0, so hello H will be assigned 0 index, E is assigned 1, L is assigned 2, 3, and L is again assigned 3. So that's what you get. My string, again, if you want to look at 4 to 9, will give you that value. So these are some of the ways you can actually do some operations in strings and get the values. You can also do carry out some of the methods. Let's say my string upper is another function that can be used to change the letters into capital case. And then if you want to do my string lower, it will load the values of the string. If you want to count how many O's are there in the string, it will count that. It can also replace my string, replace, let's say, L with O, and my string strip. I think it's not possible here because obviously there is no white space in between the two words. hello world, so it's not gonna take away. But yeah, if there is any white space in between, it will take out if you use strip as the as the function. So here you go. These are some of the basic things about list variables and strings. Catch you in the next video.